I walked up the steps and called his name. No answer. A dim light shone from inside, creating strange shadows. I took a deep breath and stepped in. What I saw shocked me. I had lived in Maplewood, a quiet and peaceful neighborhood, for nearly 10 years. I thought I knew everyone who lived there. Families waved at each other, children played together, and we even had block parties. But there was one house that always felt different, the old Victorian house at the very end of the street. The house belonged to a man named Mr. Henry. He was an old man with silver hair and sharp blue eyes. I hardly ever saw him outside, and when I did, he only gave a small nod and walked away. His house was always dark, with the curtains closed and the porch light blinking on and off. It was like time had stopped inside those walls. People in the neighborhood talked about Mr. Henry. Some said he had a dark past, while others thought he used to be a spy. The children made up scary stories, saying he had a secret room full of hidden treasures. I never really believed any of it until one night, when everything changed. One evening, as I was walking my dog past Mr. Henry's house, I noticed something strange. His front door was slightly open. I felt nervous, but I was more worried about him being hurt inside. I walked up the steps and called his name. No answer. A dim light shone from inside, creating strange shadows. I took a deep breath and stepped in. What I saw shocked me. The walls were covered with hundreds, maybe thousands, of photographs. Some were old and yellow, others looked new. Faces stared back at me, many of them familiar, neighbors from the past and present. But my heart nearly stopped when I saw a framed picture of my own family, taken at a picnic last summer. My hands shook. How did he get this photo? Before I could think, I heard movement behind me. I turned around to see Mr. Henry standing there. His face showed no emotion. My heart raced as he pointed to an old wooden chair. Please, sit. There's something I need to tell you. I sat down, and he sighed. I used to be a photographer, he said. Taking pictures, capturing moments, that was my love. After my wife passed away, I found comfort in taking photos of life around me, especially in this neighborhood. I let out a deep breath. Mr. Henry wasn't a dangerous man with a secret past. He was just an old man trying to hold on to memories. As he showed me more pictures, I realized he had documented the entire history of Maplewood. He had pictures from decades ago, capturing families who once lived there and those who still did. Just as I started to feel relaxed, my eyes landed on something odd, a locked cabinet in the corner. It looked different from everything else in the room. I hesitated, then asked, "What's inside?" Mr. Henry's face turned serious. "Some things are better left in the past," he said quietly. But I had to know. "Please, tell me." After a long pause, he pulled out an old key and unlocked the cabinet. Inside were stacks of letters, newspaper clippings, and a small wooden box. He picked up a newspaper and handed it to me. The headline read, "Missing boy still not found, search continues." A chill ran down my spine. "What is this?" I whispered. Mr. Henry's hands shook as he opened the wooden box. Inside was a small, worn-out teddy bear and a photo of a little boy. This is my son," he said, his voice breaking. "He went missing over 30 years ago." I stared at the photo. The boy had the same blue eyes as Mr. Henry. "What happened to him?" I asked gently. He shook his head. "I don't know. One day, he was playing outside, and then he was gone. The police searched for months, but they never found him. After my wife died, I started taking pictures, so I wouldn't lose anything else." I felt a lump in my throat. Mr. Henry wasn't a strange or scary man, he was a father who had lost his child and never stopped searching for him. As I stood to leave, my eyes caught something else inside the cabinet. An old letter, stamped just 2 weeks ago. Who's sending you letters? I asked. Mr. Henry's eyes widened. No one. I haven't gotten mail in years. I picked up the envelope and gave it to him. His fingers shook as he opened it. Inside was a single sheet of paper with just a few words. I'm still here, Dad. The color drained from his face. This isn't real. I grabbed the envelope and checked the return address. It was from a nearby town, only 20 miles away. We need to find out who sent this, I said firmly. For the next few days, I helped Mr. Henry search for answers. The letter led us to a small bookstore in a nearby town. When we arrived, an older man stood behind the counter. The moment his eyes met Mr. Henry's, the world seemed to stop. Dad, the man whispered. Tears filled Mr. Harris's eyes. Michael. Is that really you? The man nodded. I never thought I'd see you again. Michael had been kidnapped by a troubled neighbor all those years ago and raised under a different name. He had escaped as a teenager, but by the time he came back, he thought his parents were gone. Only recently had he discovered that his father was still in the same house, watching over the neighborhood. The reunion was overwhelming. Mr. Henry, who had spent decades alone with only memories, finally had what he had lost, his son. From that day on, Mr. Henry was no longer the mysterious man at the end of the street. He became a symbol of hope, a man with a story of loss, love, and an unbelievable reunion. And as for me, I learned that sometimes, the biggest mysteries are not about secrets, but about the power of never giving up. The most mysterious man in Maplewood turned out to be its greatest storyteller. And sometimes, the best friendships begin with a door left slightly open.